It's September 13th, 2020. It's a really smoky day here in Seattle. As you can see, the visibility is not good and it's very hazy. It's been like this all week. So yeah, not gonna stay outside for too long. Let's start the update over here with the succulents. Let's take a closer look at that little one over there. You can see there's a lot more new leaves. And here we have the string of pearls. If you look closely, you can see a lot of new growths all over the vines. And over here is the frizzle sizzle. And here we have the petal plant. You can see the leaves has a more slightly yellow to reddish color. And the elephant food plant is doing well too. As for the raspberry, the leaves has started to turn yellow, a bit yellow, and the flowers are pretty much gone now. You can see the newer flowers are either turning into the sad fruits or they just dried up. Trying to show you more fruits. Yeah, like these ones, they don't look as great as the ones that we got a few months ago. The hydrangea looks great, but right here you can see some more raspberry flowers. It's actually still flowering. And here's the hydrangea flowers. You can see these beautiful white flowers. These ones are a bit slightly more pink. If you look closely, you can probably see the pinkish color. Hopefully all the flowers are going to open. Not sure though. The lavender is doing great. You can see these new flowers have opened. Give you a closer look at the flowers. And the other part of the plants are just recovering from the pruning. Rosemary looks pretty much the same. Here's another rosemary. And the green onion, you can see it's sending out a lot of new leaves. The mulberry is recovering nicely with a bunch of new leaves. Down here, let's look at the grape hyacinth. You can see the sprout is getting taller. And the lily of the valley is dying back for sure. The blueberry leaves have started to turn red, and the calla lily is dying back slowly. Strawberries, there's not really much to talk about. Let's take a look at the flowers that have opened a few weeks ago. I wonder what the fruits looks like. And as you can see, they're very deformed. They're probably not pollinated well by bees. Here's the dahlia. The flowers looks very sad. And down here we have the pot of mixed plants. The tomato is looking great as usual. Here's the crimson clover. Not seeing any flower buds yet. And the rest is just the sweet alyssum. The hydrangea is recovering from the pruning very nicely too. You can see all the new growths around the stems, especially for this tiny one. The ginger is still sending out new leaves. This leaf has probably broke some day ago. And you can see the grape hyacinth is coming back again. The asparagus is doing quite well. You can see these new growths. The flowers have opened already, so it's dried up. Here's a bunch more flowers. And here's the newer sprouts. You can see it's pretty much leaves. Over here we have the grape. You can see the leaves have started to turn yellow and brown now. So it has started to die back too. Rhubarb is still looking great. You can see these new leaves have opened. And here's the mint. The flowers of the mint have opened. And down here's the artichoke. You can see the center is purple. That's the color of the artichoke flower. And here's the pineapple. You can see there's a lot of new leaves coming out. The top part of the plant is looking very sturdy. Let's take a closer look at the mint flower. Sort of looks like a catnip flower because they're closely related. For the indoor garden, let's focus on the orchids. The mini dendrobium is still sending out a lot of new growths, like these ones. Here's the lady slipper orchid. This one is sending out a new leaf, and this flower is getting taller. You can see the beautiful flower bud. Very excited for the flower as always. Here's the other lady slipper orchid. No new growth from this one. Here's the mini oncidiums. You can see the flower spikes is developing nicely. Here's another flower spike. This other mini oncidium, you can see here's some new flowers forming, just a few. And here's the other orchid. Looks about the same. And the snake plant over here, you can see some syrupy secretion from the new leaf, which is pretty normal. The Easter cactus is recovering. You can see here there's a new leaf forming, super tiny, but that's a sign of recovering. The pear plant is still sending out a bunch of new leaves, like this one. Hoya plants, just some new leaves forming as well. I'll show you a few more new leaves down here. Find them out right here. These pinker ones are the new leaves. And here you can see a new antler frond forming from the fern. And the spider plant is actively growing. Here you can see a bunch of new leaves. I don't think I showed you this, but I broke a branch of rosemary a few weeks ago, and I put it in water, and it's actually rooting. You can see these roots forming from the stem. I'm actually quite surprised because roots only really form from the newer growth, not this older branch. Quite cool. I also harvested the artichoke flower because the center is sort of showing, and that's sort of a sign of when you should harvest the flower. You can see it's quite small, so we're probably not going to get a lot from this, but I'm just going to harvest it anyway.